Adam Schefter, my longtime friend from the University of Michigan and Michigan Daily days, and then the NFL Network, now from ESPN, who will be part of the draft coverage on the Worldwide Leader in Sports, joining me here from Chicago on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Adam?
Hello there, Rich. How you doing?
I am doing fine. Do you think the NFL is pleased that this news came out in draft week, or would have preferred the good news that they received from the court would come at a different week without the first-round pick being gone for the Patriots Thursday night?
I don't think the league is concerned one way or another. I think that given its choice, I don't think it matters. I think that if it had come out the day of the draft, so be it. The draft is such a big, unique event, Rich, that it doesn't matter what happens. The news came out on Monday, so what? Okay, I think we're on to the draft rate. Let's see what we got here. I know the people in New England are very frustrated and upset and bothered, and I get that. But the fact of the matter is everybody's wondering who San Diego's taking at 3 and Dallas is taking at 4 and Jacksonville at 5 and so on and so forth. To me, the draft trumps all. We get Christmas in April, and that's what it's going to be, and it doesn't matter when the appeals court hands down its ruling.
Yeah, exactly. But all that said, I mean, how is Brady and the PA handling all this? What can you tell us about their next steps before we do move on to the draft?
They are plotting their next step. They're not going to just say, "Oh, we lost the appeal; it was overturned, and the suspension's now been upheld." And okay, well, we'll accept that then. That's not how this is going to go down. This has gone on forever. It's going to go on forevermore, and Tom Brady is going to keep fighting this until he's completely exhausted everything. Now, he's facing long odds. It's going to be a difficult battle, and I don't think legal experts sound like they're optimistic that he's going to prevail here and he's going to be able to stave off the 4-game suspension. But the fact of the matter is, Tom Brady believes he's done nothing wrong. He's going to fight till his death to prove that that is the case. And the league's not backing down either. And that's why this has gone on as long as it has and why it continues to. And it shows no signs of letting up, and he'll fight. And they're talking about what is the next step. And I think they could go back to rehear the case, go to that court, take it to a different court. I don't know how they're going to proceed. I just know that they are going to fight it.
Adam Schefter joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Tom Condon went on to satellite radio last night and gave an impassioned plea for Sam Bradford to be given an exit visa in Philadelphia, and all it really served to do was upset the Eagles fan base, which may have been his intention to begin with. Adam, read the tea leaves on all of this for me right now with Sam Bradford.
Rich, that's exactly it, because Tom Condon is a long-time, experienced, savvy agent. I don't think he does anything just willy-nilly, accidental. Oh, let me just say Sam Bradford wants to be tricked. Oh, that backfired on me. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, come on. So I think what he is doing is sending a message to the Eagles, unless you trim my guy, this is going to be ugly and sticky and unpleasant for everybody. And that's not what we want to do. We want to be traded. We want out. Please accommodate us. And I think, look, the Eagles have been steadfast in saying, we don't want to deal Sam Bradford. He's our starting quarterback. But I think this is an invitation to other teams, i.e., the 49ers, the Broncos, the Jets, to step up and go make an offer in the week of the draft to see if they could pry loose Sam Bradford. And it's not going to be easy because Philadelphia doesn't want to deal him. And they don't plan to deal him. But as we know in life, plans change, and they're going to do what's best for them. And if one of these teams makes a compelling enough offer, then I'm sure the Eagles would listen and entertain it.
So which team do you think makes a move quarterback-wise this week? Denver for Kaepernick, Denver for Bradford, the Jets. Which team do you think makes a move this week, if at all?
Rich, I think it's one of the great things. We have very little quarterback intrigue at the top of the draft now. But to a much lesser extent, we've got a lot of quarterback intrigue among Sam Bradford, Colin Kaepernick, to a lesser extent, Nick Foles, Case Keenum. There are quarterbacks out there, and there are teams that need quarterbacks, and I don't know how that game of musical chairs is going to shake out other than the Jets have to do something. The Broncos have to do something. The 49ers have to do something with Colin Kaepernick. So these moves are going to play out, in all probability, this week because they have to.
Well, why does something have to happen with Kaepernick, do you think?
Well, because the sense you get from speaking to people inside the league is that they believe that situation is just headed for divorce. Now, he's been going through the off-season workout program. and the language that they're using in the offense is very similar to the language he used in college. But I think that most people don't believe it's real. They think that San Francisco is going to try to move on from him. To me, I wouldn't. I would try to salvage it and see if it could work. But I think most people think that the intelligent bet is that they're going to try to move on from him, as they've done here over the last few weeks, to no avail, because there have been holdups in either the compensation that Colin Kaepernick is going to receive or the 49ers have to give up in terms of the contract or get back from another team. Now, that's the easiest part of this whole deal. If Denver ever were to get back involved in the Kaepernick thing, the compensation essentially is simple. I mean, that's basically agreed to. The contract is the sticky part. But San Francisco has been adamant. We're not budging. We're not paying that. And if you want him, you'd pay for it. But I think it'll be interesting to see if they feel that way about a week from now. This is the draft with picks. Like, that may be right. But, Rich, that's the beauty of the draft. Everybody has no choice but to put their cards on the table. Put them down, man. We've played poker long enough. What do we got? What's your hand? And that's the great part. That's what we get to see this week.
Adam Schefter joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you make of the news my colleague Ian Rappaport threw out there that the Saints were interested in the number 1 overall pick? I asked that a Breeze in the first hour, and he had not heard that before and did not put much credence in it, is what he said, and also to maybe look out for the Saints to move up for a quarterback. What do you make of this news, Adam?
Yeah, listen, I think teams make calls. There may have been a simple conversation the way I explained it at the top of the draft, the way I understood it. It didn't seem to be particularly significant from the conversations I've had with a couple of different people about it. But listen, teams never fully show their cards. The 3 teams that the Titans spoke to at the time that they were dealing in that trade were the Rams, the Eagles, and the Jets. And that was confirmed at that time. Now, there may or may not have been a conversation with the Saints at that particular time. But the Saints have a lot of holes and a lot of needs. And it's, for me, it would be hard to imagine them making a move for a quarterback at 1 right now. But anything's possible. That's what the beautiful part of the draft is.
What do you think about Joe Thomas, a possibility he gets traded? Seattle has been rumored to be interested maybe in throwing a bunch of picks. What do you think of that, Adam?
Yeah, Browns are not highly interested in dealing Joe Thomas right now. Now, again, one of those situations, what if Seattle, another team, comes along and offers a first-round pick? But the way it was explained to me is that Seattle or Cleveland is holding on to Joe Thomas. They've got a quarterback back there right now who's had some injury history. And it's important for them to protect that guy. And so the idea going into the draft, I can tell you without fail, is to hold on to Joe Thomas. That doesn't mean that they couldn't be bowled over with some offer, but they have no plans to do that right now.
I love that. Right now, I mean, Adam Schefter here on the Rich Eisen Show. In the couple minutes I have with you left, and you've been there, you've done that for this draft for so long.
I said you, Rich.
I know, but my phone's not blowing up, and my job is to make the draft interesting enough that you want to listen to me and everybody else for 3 days, right? Your job is to provide the information as best you can get it and break it. What percentage of the information that you get do you think is all BS? What do you think?
Well, here's the deal. Like last night I was at home, and the phone keeps ringing, and my wife, to my surprise, what's going on? I go, well, the draft Thursday. Every team wants an idea of what's going on around them. And this is just me. If I have Team X on the phone, I'm not saying to Team X, what are you doing? I'm saying to them, what's going on in the pick in front of you? What's going on in the pick behind you? I don't even ask them what they're doing because I'm not going to bother. So they give me the best information around there. Now, sometimes teams will just say, here's the 2 guys we'd like. That does happen. Well, if they want to share that, great. If they don't, that's fine. I said to a couple of people I've worked with, there's one guy who wants to be a GM. I said, when you're a GM one day, just tell me who you're going to take. That way I don't have to find out in a different way and use it against you. Like, it's just easier to do it that way. It's easier to cooperate than not cooperate. Don't resist the efforts, Rich. Embrace it.
So just so I understand, it seems that this time of year, more people from the league are reaching out to you to pick your brain for information than the other way around? Is that what you're saying, Adam?
I would say for the past few days that's accurate, yes.
Fantastic. You should charge for that, Adam. You should charge.
But Rich, that's the job. Like, again, as you know, life is give and take, and you got to give. You can't take. So you got to give. And so I'm a giver, Rich. I try to be a giver.
Now, is this relationship advice or you're talking business right now? I'm trying to.
I try to be a giver in my personal and professional life.
I know that, Adam.
I'm here to help, Rich.
You are balanced. You are balanced. You are not sitting in your hotel room at night, renting a movie. You're not doing that. You're working.
No,
you're working.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It really was. I mean, yesterday, the calls are coming in. You get the Brady news, the Bradford news, and on a day like that, I mean, it's what you love. It's just hard to keep up. Yeah. Just with everything. Like, it's just hard. And, both the kids are off from school this week, so it's spring break, so they're home.
Yeah.
So we got the kids, we got the calls, we got the break. It's fun.
And then, but
you know how that works, right?
You get to say to your children, "Hey, hold on a second. Daddy's on the phone with Tom Telesco now." Right? Sort of something like that, right?
It actually happened at dinner. It happened at dinner last night. My wife said, "Hey, have you spoken to this guy?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't spoken to that guy in a couple of weeks." And then the phone rang, and it was that guy.
Hey,
on
speak
cue.
of the devil. Adam,
I said, "My wife was just asking about you."
Adam, I'll see you at the theater. I'll see you at the theater this week.
This is a very personal conversation that we just had.
This is good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It's pulling back the layers. You're a human being and father and a husband first and an information man second, Adam. That's the way it works in this world.
We try to, Rich, weave it all together. You strike that balance of life scale as well. You try to walk it as well. You know how hard it is. Everybody out there is in the working world with the kids and life and busyness. It's chaos, but it's all great. We love that.
We try. Adam, I'll see you at the theater this week.
Rich, love being with you. I look forward to seeing you this week. Have a great time.
You're the best. You got it. That's Adam Schefter here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.